WTBR-FM, Pittsfield.
Welcome to Ham on WTBR, the all-inclusive ham radio show for hams and non-hams alike. Be part of the show. Contact us on www.facebook.com/HamJamTV. And now the hosts of the show, Peter and Jessica. Ham on.
And
good morning.
Good morning, live.
Good morning.
Live from the WTBR studios here in Pittsfield, Mass.
Yes.
Where it's Wednesday, you know, because it's either snowing or raining.
Well, in our case now, it's snowing.
No, but every Wednesday
For the past year.
for the past year that or so that we've been doing this, it's either snowing or raining on a
Yep.
Wednesday.
Never fails.
We could have sun on the Tuesday,
Yep.
sun on Thursday.
Yep.
Soon as Wednesday comes, we have to get up and do this show. Weather is going nuts.
Yep.
Speaking
It's like Tuesday, brightly sunny. Wednesday, holy crap, it's Wednesday. Here you go, have a thunderstorm. Thank you.
and speaking of going nuts,
Yeah, being that I had to drag out my winter boots.
and speaking of going nuts, we usually don't discuss this stuff on air
Oh, God.
on this station anyway. But
You know what really grinds his
you
gears?
know what really grinds my gears? Watching the news this morning as we were getting ready to come into the studio.
Yep,
The
with our
CDC,
coffee.
in all their wisdom, put out something this morning which
What they
is
put out?
kind of laughable.
Yeah,
now they're
kind of.
telling you that they want you when you're driving around in the middle of winter, especially in New England and the Northeast, to roll your windows down. Now picture
So we can
this.
breathe our eyes shut?
Picture this, if you will. Okay,
What is it? The dimension of sight and sound, but of mind?
Picture this, if you
At a
will.
crossroads up ahead.
It's
Sorry.
It's 4 degrees outside.
Huh?
You're going down I-90 at 60 miles per hour
Yeah.
in January
Yes.
with the windows open.
Yes.
You will be frozen to the steering wheel.
Especially in New England. Where the wind cuts through you like butter and you're like,
Like they don't trust the filters in your car.
yeah.
Okay, so that's that. Before we get into
Meanwhile, as you're driving and you're shivering, instead of going, I got to get to Boston.
and you drive down the Mass Pike at 60 miles an hour with the windows
Freezing.
open in the middle of January when it's 4 degrees.
And people are wondering why you're freaking ice cube by the time you get there.
You get to Boston, they're like, "Why aren't you going to get out of the car?" I'm frozen to the steering wheel. Why? The CDC said I have to drive with the windows open. Please. I think you're making this stuff up as they go. Speaking
starting
about
to
making
wonder.
stuff up as they go, as we get back to the amateur radio part of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday,
Well, you had to get your rant out.
Sunday we
What?
had the newcomers roundtable.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't understand the logic of the amateur radio operators, but why would you have a new? And this got proven on Sunday. Why would you have a newcomers roundtable when, like we've discussed before, one, you need newcomers. They had 8 check-ins.
Not
Not
one of them.
one newcomer in the lot. Why? We haven't had a test since February. There are no newcomers.
Yeah, that would explain it.
I'm not even doing a test till this Saturday.
Yeah.
You should have scheduled it for after the test when people got their licenses.
yeah.
And you'd actually have newcomers. So we had a bunch of old people, and even one of them that came on there said they're preaching to the choir because there's no newcomers. This is the logic, people that's falling down to and the guy who ran it is the assistant section emergency coordinator for Aries. So what's that tell you? Wasn't quite thought out.
No.
Now,
And And again, he had to go into Spock there for a moment, as logic would dictate.
Well, it would. Why would you schedule a newcomers roundtable for a date before there's any tests given out?
Not really a good idea, but I don't know. I'm not the one who came. I'm not the one that decided to schedule the newcomers roundtable.
So,
if I was in charge and if I was scheduling, I would wait until your testing was done, and let the newcomers go ahead and come on there and get introduced, get acquainted with people on there, so that way they know who to go to, so that way they can have somebody mentor them into it. This is just my thought process.
Right. But
that would put the logical part of the newcomers roundtable into it.
We had that end of it. Everybody that was on there were old timers who knows everything and done everything. And all that stuff, and they've done all that.
Mm-hmm.
But like WA1ZHM said that we're preaching to the choir because there are no newcomers.
Yeah, I see his point.
So
and I see
if you were
your
going to do this, you should have done it.
You should have made sure to
scheduled it after we did the test.
It would have been.
I've got 5 people scheduled for my test. And I'm going to tell you about the test in a minute because that's another thing.
Tell us about the test in a minute.
Okay. Will came out.
You got a minute.
I have a minute.
You said a minute. You said in a minute.
I have like 50 minutes.
I'm kidding.
Will came last month and gave me the pack and said, "Here, you can run the test."
Yeah.
So I went and
dropped the carrying case. Here you go. You even get the handy dandy carrying case.
Yeah, dandy carrying case to carry all stuff. So I went and got permission from the ARRL for the RVE team to do remote testing.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, out of 10 people on my VE,
that was the first thing you did when you got appointed. Was
10 people on. Well, the first thing I did was call everybody in Berkshire County to see if we had a venue.
You let people know that you were the new VE.
Well, yeah, and the first thing I did is call everybody in Berkshire County and see if they would lend us a venue for doing an in-person test.
Yeah, because where we usually held it is closed, and that would have been Berkshire Bank.
Right, and the only one that responded and said, sure, you can use our venue, wanted way more money than a bunch of volunteers can come up with. Anyway, so I went to the ARRL. We got
yeah, because they don't get paid for this.
We got permission to do the remote testing. Cool. I spend countless hours.
You spent countless hours
on videos and learning how to do the remote testing with exam tools.
Yeah.
Right? I go to the club, and we have a club meeting, and I say, hey, you know what? This is no bark. It's your testing. I'm just coordinating it.
I remember.
Let me finish. We need to get the Zoom.
Yes, I know. I was in the living room.
I know, but this is for the listeners. The Zoom is $15.
Yes.
Okay? No bark. Amateur Radio Club has like $9,000 in their account. I have like 10.
Yeah, I know.
So Eric up there goes, well, maybe you should just put it on yours. Or first was you can use ours. Okay, they have a Zoom, so good.
Yeah,
send me the passwords, and we'll use your Zoom for the testing. It is a no bark test. Now keep in mind, if I had known what I know now, I would have put it under my club because I have an amateur radio club.
Yeah, yes, we did.
Which I put on the shelf because I didn't want to compete with No Bark because I have more members than No Bark does.
Yeah, which was KD2 NSA.
KD2 NSA. So Eric goes, well, how would we? You'd have to reimburse us back if we pay you. What? It's $15. You have $9,000 in your account. I have 10.
Yeah.
And you're worrying about reimbursing of a $15, which the ARRL would give back anyway.
Exactly.
So I end up paying for the Zoom.
Yeah, because they have to reimburse any out of pocket.
Yeah, I end up paying for the Zoom to do No Bark's tests. if I had known that the next test is going down as KD2 NSA, I'm going to put it on mine since, we're getting no help from the club, to be perfectly honest, and who's ever listening, sorry about this, but we're getting no help from the club. You could have forked up the $15 and not worry about it.
Yeah, true.
It's $15 a month, gives you unlimited, and it's going to take 3 or 4 hours to do these tests, and you're going to get
and also with the testing, 9 times out of 10, they would have joined No Bark anyways.
Exactly, because it's the only club here. So I don't understand, when you have $9,000 in the account for your club, and I have like 10 in mine, you should have just said, take we'll give you the $15 for it. Don't worry about being reimbursed.
Oh,
the ARRL will reimburse it anyway. So I'm paying for the Zoom.
Sorry, I had to get something off my glasses.
I'm paying for the Zoom because the ARRL said take it out of the test fees.
Yeah.
Which is good, which means I don't have to sweat anything because I've got enough test fees that I could pay for the Zoom.
Exactly.
You want this stuff done. You want more people on the repeaters. You want more people.
You want more people
this.
in a club. You want more people on the repeaters.
Here I am again.
But
I left my titles, and my leadership in the ARRL because of stuff like this.
Oh, I know.
I kept my assistant section traffic manager because of Marcia, but the rest of it I gave up because of stuff like this.
Oh, I know. It goes from say one thing and then do something totally different.
I could spend a whole hour, and I might do a separate podcast on what happened all summer, all year long while we were in lockdown about what was going on in Aries, because I could take the whole hour of this show and just talk about that. And we've got a lot to get to. But, if I'm doing something for your club and it's benefiting you, it's not benefiting me. It ain't going into my club. I'm the one that had to sit for hours. And you
Yeah, I know.
You sit for hours
I was
watching videos. I got 10 people on my VE team. We're doing this remotely. You don't have to leave the house.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. 10 people on my VE team.
Mm-hmm.
I got 4. They're going to do this test. I had to pull VEs from...
Yeah, you had to go into...
everywhere else.
Yeah, you had to go into the Discord channels for them.
I had to pull VEs from Discord to supplement all this. And I actually got a team...
for people that don't know, Discord, it's an online chat community. Usually it's reserved for gaming. Mm-hmm. So that way you can, you can talk while you're, doing raids or whatever with your people, so that way they know what you're doing. You can do either by typing or by voice. So that meant he had to go across country to go ahead and get VE people. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got most of the VE team. I actually got a team.
Sorry, gamer mode slipped in for a little bit.
I actually got a team leader who's going to actually run the testing on Saturday. We've got 5 people doing the testing. And I had to pull VEs that are experienced from the Discord from across the country. I'm also a member of the Greater Los Angeles Club for VE testing. Yeah, they're going to send me a nice little badge and stuff, and I got in on that. But a lot of the people I got are from there.
You're in Massachusetts, and you're part of the Greater Los Angeles VE team because of the Discord and the social distancing and everything.
Right,
cool.
but my point is I had to pull those people.
Oh, I know.
A lot of them to come sit on my session and run my session because we don't have enough on the VE team that said, hey, you know what, we can do this from home. 10 people on my VE team. I got Will. I got Wayne. I got Triple T.
Well, yeah.
And I'm hoping that Ron didn't even answer. So 10 people on my VE team. I've got 3 that are actually on my VE team, and the rest are all scattered across the country. They're going to sit in on the remote testing and actually get it done on Saturday. And the team leader.
How in the heck did you manage to do that? Because, all different time zones. How the heck did you manage that?
I put it out on Discord saying, We were talking to a lot of people on Discord, said you should get some experienced people in there to run the first couple of them. I agreed. So they started coming in and just, what time, what time do you want us in there? When we did, I did the one with Glarg last week. They go on Pacific time, but they set it up for Eastern. So it was like 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. So I just tell them, let's hey, it's 12:45 check-in, 12:45 p.m. check-in Eastern time, and they're all going to be there. We'll see who shows up. All 5 candidates are going to show up, and only 3 are from here. So we're testing candidates from the
other states.
The other 2 are across the country, and then Eric sends me an email and says that somebody else wants to get in on it, and I already filled up the session.
Yeah.
So I had to schedule
because you need to do them, a few at a time because you.
I had to put an overflow session, so I got one person on the overflow session for January 16th, but I can't pay for everything.
I know.
If we're going to do this, and the only way to do this with the COVID-19 is the remote testing. If I'm doing this for NOBARC. Because I could just do this for the Albany Area Amateur Association. I put my club on the shelf when I moved out here. I could pull my club out and say, hey, you know what? The next test is going to be for KD2 NSA.
Oh, I know.
And we can test. You might kind of want to throw me a cookie once in a while. But, now I'm doing the NOBARC testing, and I have to pay for the Zoom. And it's a good thing the ARRL, when I talked to them, said, you know what, just take it out of the test fees.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I could have done that with NOBARC, the NOBARC thing. But anyway, I had to rant. That's the first 17 minutes of the show. We got a lot. We got a lot of show to go. But you
had to get a lot off your chest. It's calm. It's fine.
My biggest complaint is doing a newcomers roundtable week before a test.
With no newcomers.
When there hasn't been a test, because I went back and looked at Will's papers. He left me everything, even all the past test sessions that were completed from 2020 to 2016. Yeah. He left with me.
Oh yeah, that's how you.
And we haven't had a test. In February was our last test pre-COVID. So it makes no sense to do a newcomers roundtable the Sunday a week before the test.
No, because at that point in time, you have no newcomers.
You have, and Sunday proved it. There were no newcomers. There are none. It was a bunch of the older people, the experienced people, just getting on there and rag chewing for an hour and 15 minutes.
Sure.
And for whoever was listening, but if anybody wants to get in on a test session, I'm having one January 16th. There's a couple of spots open. KD2JKV@gmail.com. If you want to upgrade or if you want to take your test, it will be remote through Zoom and through exam tools. And I sitting in on these, they don't look all that hard to do. You get 2 cameras. You get your cell phone camera so you can look around the room. Make sure nobody's there giving you clues.
Make sure nobody's giving you questions.
Check their IDs. And then the software does everything. The software grades the exams and everything, produces the CSCEs, produces the 605s.
Yeah.
I just email the CSCEs if they pass their test. I'll email them the CSCEs.
What is a CSCE? Is the certificate that you had passed?
Yes, the certificate of completion.
Okay, there we go.
Which tells
and
you...
And the other thingy is what for the non-ham?
Well, the 605 is a form that goes to the FCC. And, it's where it's a new license grant, or if it's a change of address, or if it's... Upgrade, or whatever that is.
Oh, it's to let the FCC know that there has been a change somewhere.
There's been something, yeah. The 605... tells you, for what's going to happen Saturday is everybody's going to get new grants except 1 or 2 that are upgrading. So it's going to say, you got a new grant, or this is an upgraded grant, and the CSCE says you are now part of the problem here. you have
Welcome to the Brotherhood of Ham Radio.
Welcome to the Brotherhood. You're in the Brotherhood, but you can't transmit until the FCC gets you your call sign. Now, what I don't like, because what I heard is because in like Glarg and the rest of these, you can just upload the stuff to the league. And then, send them their money order for the test fees. The ARRL, you actually have to send the physical paperwork in, which means after it's all said and done, I've got to print all that stuff out.
Good thing we have a new printer.
Yeah. I have to print all that stuff out, put it in an envelope, go to the post office, get the money order, and send that to the ARRL instead of just
get the postage. And
but
then
I'm going to talk to them and see if send them an email, say, hey, can't we just upload the stuff to you and just send you, take the 60,
unless they want you to
take the fees off my credit card. So I'll put the fees on my credit card and just take the fees off my credit card and just upload everything to you. It'll save time instead of printing everything, mailing it out. Unless you want to pay for my printer ink. So I think
printer paper.
I think when I get home after this show, I'll email the league and see if we can do that. All right, so that was 21 minutes of rant. We're going to go to the break.
Come on now.
We're going to go to the break.
It's a talk show. We're supposed to rant.
And when we come back from the break, you'll have some news. I'll have some space weather for you. So stick around.
You're listening to Ham on WTBR.
WTBR. We are currently experiencing technical difficulty. Please stand by while we look for the instruction manual.
Wireless. You hear that word used a lot today. We have wireless telephones, wireless internet systems, wireless microphones. What it actually means is that they are radios. And who knows more about radios than amateur radio operators? Call them amateurs or call them hams. They know the modern wireless world. They helped create it.
Well, hello.
Hi. Wow, you are looking fabulous. Is that a Gucci handbag? And your shoes are gorgeous.
They're Italian leather. This skirt is Chanel, and I treated myself to this Tiffany bracelet, too.
Did you get a raise?
I wish. No, I got all this and more at Catwalk Boutique.
Catwalk Boutique?
That's right. I got the Gucci handbag and Chanel skirt at the Great Barrington location and the Tiffany bracelet at the Lenox store.
Well, you have to tell me about Catwalk Boutique.
You will love it. It's an upscale resale shop for women. They have something for everyone, from casual to designer, and everything in the shop is donated. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds benefit Berkshire Humane Society.
I think Mitzi approves. I have to check it out.
I'm headed there now. Want to join? The shop is dog friendly, so Mitzi can come too.
Oh, absolutely. Catwalk Boutique. The more you shop, the more animals you save.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and at catwalkboutique.org.
WTBR radar weather for the Pittsfield area. Today, snow showers likely this morning, then snow showers likely, or a chance of rain showers this afternoon. Total snow accumulation around 10 inch. Highs in the mid-30s. Southwest wind around 5 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 60%. Tonight, mostly cloudy with scattered snow showers. Cold with lows in the upper 20s. West wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow 40%. Thursday, partly sunny. Highs in the lower 40s. Northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Weather forecasts for WTBR FM are provided by the National Weather Service.
This is the Goodwill Industries of the Berkshires and Southern Vermont. Our mission is to help our community members with barriers to employment attain independence and self-sufficiency, gain confidence, and enhance quality of life, all through vocational, educational work, training, and support services. You can contact Goodwill at 413-442-0061 or go to our website at www.goodwill-berkshires.com.
We would be honored if you would join us. WTBR.
Yes, and it is a thing when you're watching the Star Wars marathon, and Dad comes out with that. The minute that Vader goes in and says, "I would like it'd be an honor if you would join us," and he comes up WTBR.
Well,
I'm
just
like,
like,
really?
just like we were watching, they go, "That's no moon."
Yeah, there's no hope.
We go through the whole thing. That's no moon. That's a space station. WTBR. And everybody just rolling
Right?
on the floor.
Yeah.
Really been doing this too long if we start
Yes.
picking this stuff out of the
Yes.
movies.
When you sit there and go, really, dude?
I'm afraid to watch Willy Wonka again. We are the music makers.
And we are the dreamers of dreams.
We'll be picking that out of there. All right, you have news. Let's go do your news before we run. Actually,
He
before
does.
we run out of air
I'm
time
not
here.
even kidding. We're not even. I'm not even kidding. We're watching Empire, and he comes out with WTBR. I'm like, really?
Do your news.
Oh my goodness. Well, I got some local news and some ham news. Which one do you want first?
Your news segment, whatever. Knock yourself out. Enjoy.
Anyways, scientists at UMass Amherst has figured out a way to generate electricity from nothing but the air around us. Interesting. Electronic engineer Wan Yo and Derek Lovely developed a device called AirGen, or air-powered generator, that uses a natural protein to produce energy from humidity and moisture in the air. The new technology has revolutionized renewable energies, curbed climate change by reducing fossil fuel use. Yo said, "We are literally making electricity out of thin air. The AirGen cleans energy 24 hours a day. The AirGen comprise tiny electronically conductive wires known as protein nanowires, which are produced by microbes. The device connects electrodes to the nanowires to generate the electricity from the water vapor in the air." Explained that the ultimate goal is to make large-scale systems of their little air generator that they had made. For example, technology will be incorporated into, hopefully they think, into wall paint to help power your home, so there won't be like a need for fossil fuels. They'll be able to go ahead and to make it that way, or develop a standalone air-powered generator that supply electricity off the grid. So it would be like a newfangled solar powered generator in some way, except it won't use the power of the sun. It'll use the power of air, just regular thin air. What do you think?
Regular thin air, solar power. So
they're coming up with an AirGen.
It's not like in Last Jedi where they built that weapon and it eats the sun.
They're powered by the sun.
Powered by the sun.
That would not be Jedi. That would be Force Awakens. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being.
Back to your news. Never correct a host. First rule of radio.
What?
Back to your news.
I'm sorry I corrected you on Star Killer Base. My bad.
Back to your news.
Hence why it's called Star Killer Base. I'm sorry. My bad. I did my news. Your turn.
I don't want to. Okay. We'll go to space.
I did part of my news. Your turn.
All right. We'll go to space weather. I have space weather for us.
Space weather.
And as soon as it boots up and it does what I want it to do, we'll be back. Space weather.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and
Okay, we gotta wait here for a second.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Okay, here we go.
2020, 8:30 p.m. Central here in the U.S. God bless you and yours no matter where you are in the world, folks. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. We have seen 3 small spikes in the Schumann resonance. The latest one actually could exceed up to 100 hertz here. I believe this is the beginning of the space weather and imbalance we're going to see in our electromagnetic shield ongoing for the next 6, 7, 8 days. This is going to be epic. And my God, NOAA is now calling for a G3 solar storm, just as I told you guys, or a 7 on the KP index within 24 hours. This is going to be epic. The following day, they have a G2 or a 6. I believe both these sections could exceed their guesstimates here. G3, G2 could be G4 plus, folks. Since NOAA and NASA are guesstimating it, folks, a G4 will be clear up here where you see my cursor. This will be incredible. G3, G4, wow. KP index spike like you've never seen in your life. As we go to the Space Weather Prediction Center, we see they have 2 huge waves of plasma hitting at about 60 centimeters cubed, followed by 45 centimeters cubed. We're talking a 1, as you see here coming in black, look up here, 55. 2, look at this, joining it, 2 with black, 60 centimeters cubed. 3 solar winds, really 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 punch. This is going to be epic, like nothing I have witnessed in my 53 years here on planet Earth. Wow. A fast-moving plasma is headed towards Earth. It's going to happen to join the other plasma that was discharged, also headed towards Earth. We're seeing a huge dose of radiation here hitting our satellites in orbit, folks. This is going to be something we have not seen. I'm guessing most communications may or may not go out. We do see the satellites getting enamored with radiation currently, and it is on the rise if possible. Total dose. Now we'll go to LASCO C3 and watch a 24-hour event. Let's watch it a few times. This is a 24-hour halo effect with a huge sun flare leaving the surface of the sun headed towards Earth, as you can see. And watch the timestamps here. All 24 hours are involved. Finally, we'll take a look at SOHO at 171 angstroms, and we'll see the active sunspots 2790 and 2791 popping off towards Earth. We also see another unnamed sunspot as of now coming around the bend with obvious filaments leaving the surface of the sun. We see a coronal hole on the southern pole and another smaller coronal hole above the equator on our star. We also see departing sunspots. God bless you and yours, folks. Seatbelts on, tinfoil hats on. Get ready for tomorrow, the next day, and the following day. Please share our video. Please prepare for this. God bless you and yours. Please subscribe.
Right now.
All right, and we are back.
Hello.
Hello. So, I never saw anybody what's the word I'm looking for?
Enthused.
Enthused about space weather. All right, do your amateur radio news while I try to get something to work here.
Of course. We have technical difficulties, and I have to be the diversion.
It's live radio, and yes, you are the diversion to keep us from going on dead air.
Oh, of course. Astronaut Shannon Parker, KD5DXB, completed a successful scheduled ham radio contact with students of Tecumseh High School Electronics and Amateur Radio in Tecumseh, Oklahoma, via amateur radio on the International Space Station. The radio contact took place on December the 4th at 1833 UTC or 12:33 in 12:33 Central Time in Oklahoma. Cool. The students were supported by members of the Southern Canadian Amateur Radio Society, serving the amateur radio operators in the Cleveland County, Oklahoma area.
Say that 3 times fast.
In the U.S., the International Space Station ARISS is supported by the ARRL, MSTAT, the International Space Station, National Lab Space Station Explorers, and NASA Space Communications and Navigation Program. That's pretty awesome.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
Yeah, well, Darth went ahead and said, screw it, he wanted to be a Sith.
That was directed to you. All right.
But the only problem is I probably would be a Jedi, but I don't look good in beige.
Okay, did you do...
The black might signal my downfall, but at least I'll look good, dang it.
Okay, did you do the New England Sci-Tech thing?
No, I did not.
I got it. Okay.
I did the astronauts, if you were listening.
I wasn't paying attention.
Really?
I was zoning out over here in the corner. That's why they put me in the corner of this thing.
Really?
Do you want to come over here and do this part?
No.
Next week, you can do this. I'll sit over there.
No.
It's fun over here. Got all these little contraptions and gizmos and sliders
knowing
and
me,
stuff.
I'll blow something up. No.
If she
I
comes,
might press a button and might launch like nuclear weapons or something over
if
there.
she comes on this side of the board, have 911 on standby. WTBR goes bye-bye.
What happened? She lost a missile into freaking space.
She lost the radio. We got the first radio station. We're broadcasting from space. By the way, in case you haven't checked it, you're listening to Ham High.
Yeah.
On WTBR FM, at least for now. The New England Sci-Tech.
At least for now.
This online course will get you ready to take the amateur radio general license exam. The second of 3 certification levels.
The mouth transplant starting to work.
Toward adults as well as junior high, high school, and homeschool students. Yes, we will give online ham radio exams too. This is a full course taught by a 40-year veteran teacher, not a discussion group or video service. You will learn much more than just watching a video or buying a book. Topics range from the science of radio electronics to the FCC rules governing the radio spectrum, optional but recommended text, ARRL General Class License Manual, 9th edition for exams through June 30th, 2023. Quote, quote, purchase on the ARRL
quote,
website, quote, quote. Regular practice and study. Wow. Voice is cracking. Study is necessary to get the best results
Yeah, it
from this
usually
book.
means you have a little dry spot in your throat. Hey.
Which the coffee will take care of. You must have a thorough understanding of the technician and general material before taking this course. If you already...
it's called studying.
If you are already a licensed tech or general but have been away from the radio for a while, you may request to audit at half price one of our tech or general courses to catch up. The course offerings are 4-day courses, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, December 14th.
Is that their low-key way of saying here and study this?
You must have some kind of knowledge before you take the course.
I gotta figure that. That's kind of normally what you do.
The 2-day courses are Saturday. Okay, what did I do here? The 4-day courses
kind of
are
going in blind. You'll kind of.
Why don't you go play out in the snow? I don't know if we can get a camera, but
money.
it's snowing outside the studio.
I don't want to play outside.
Can I finish this before we
I don't want
we
to
have
play
20
outside.
minutes
It's too
left.
cold.
Can I finish this story in the next 20 minutes?
Yeah, sure, maybe.
4-day courses are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, December 14th through the 17th, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time each day. The 2-day courses are Saturday and Sunday, December 19th and 20th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time each day. System requirements, computer or Chromebook capable of running Zoom. Yeah, I would say something. I remember Zoom was a children's show in the Children's Television Workshop.
Yes.
Back, in the
Zoom's
60s and 70s.
Yes.
Captioning made possible by WGBH in Boston. Okay? Now it's a...
Did you just date yourself?
Yes, I did. Zoom, the electric company.
I didn't know
Sesame Street when the Muppets were just the Muppets.
During the hieroglyphic time. I didn't know it was on during ancient Egypt time.
You won't be here next week, by the way.
Didn't you sit behind Moses in the 3rd grade?
No. I sat behind Jesus in the 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
I copied off his paper, okay? System requirements, computer or Chromebook capable of running Zoom. Zoom meeting either by Zoom app or through a web browser, a web camera, mic, and a printer. I have all that stuff. Included with the course, you will get downloadable lecture study guides and charts, free access to our weekly online radio shop talk sessions, and a guest pass to the Near Stars radio rooms and radio club meetings for 3 months, online and in person, whatever that is. The family free. Additional members of the same family may join this course at no extra charge.
Ooh.
As I stare at you over there.
What I do?
If sharing one computer and Zoom screen.
You throw a person under the bus one time.
You've been throwing me under the bus since we went on the air at 9 a.m.
One time a week.
I
do it one day. I do it one day a
have
week
you not heard
on the radio.
Have you not heard the Beatles shows as of late?
Okay, twice.
Yeah, okay. So we should set up a camera to do Ham On Live at home and see what happens behind the scenes of this show.
It's not my fault I hurl you under the bus.
A few days before the session, you will receive an email with instructions to the course.
If I didn't hurl you under the bus, there would be a problem.
Can I finish the story?
Yeah, sure.
We have 15 minutes.
Sorry.
If you... now I'm confused. A few days before... No comments from you. A few days before the session, you will receive an email. I'm going to turn your microphone off. With instructions to the course details, documents, and Zoom link. If you don't see the email, check your spam filter. If you still don't see it, call or email us. Please be aware of our cancellation and refund policies. For questions, email info@nescitech.org or call 508-720-4179. The license exams. Yes, our exam team is authorized to give online exams. So you can schedule your FCC general exam within a few days of the course. Note that we must collect the standard $15 exam fee for the ARRLVEC separately. Of course, we know that. We administer ham radio exams both online and in person, having proctored 2,000 exams over the past decade. We've taught amateur radio classes for 15 years with tremendous success. Hundreds of people have taken our classes, with 99% having passed the exam to become licensed operators. We offer classes for all 3 levels of ham radio licenses, technician, general, amateur, as well as
Yeah, there
Morse
used to be a
code.
4th level, which was novice, am I correct?
Yeah, there was novice, there was...
That was what the tentacle was, wasn't it?
There was something else, too. This is a long story. We'll save this one for next week. We'll do it if we have time later.
Well, we still have time.
We have 15 minutes. We'll do this one. The 99th anniversary of the transatlantic tests on December 11th, 1921. Radio history was made when the signal from amateur radio station IBCG in Greenwich, Connecticut was heard in Ardrossan, Scotland, marking the first successful transmission of any radio signal.
Edinburgh.
It wasn't Edinburgh. It's Adrossan. SSAN. Does that sound like Edinburgh to you?
Oh, bye.
First successful transmission of any radio signal across the Atlantic using shortwave frequencies. The event, known as the Transatlantic Tests, were organized by the ARRL to prove that shortwave length frequencies could propagate long distance using transmitters running less than 1 kilowatt. Paul Codley, 2ZE, considered the best of operators, was sent to Europe to listen for the participating stations. His 9-tube receiver used the latest superhydrodyne technology, which he modified for these frequencies. On his ocean journey to England, Godley coincidentally met Harold Beveridge, who convinced him to use a specially designed 1,300-foot antenna, which we call a Beveridge antenna, referred to during the event as a highly sensitive and directional Beveridge antenna. We still use them today.
What kind of beverage?
It was an adult beverage. It was a long trip to Scotland from Connecticut. During a pre-event dinner arranged for him by his British host, Godley met Guglielmo Marconi. Try to get that one out there.
No, I'm good.
Founder of radio, who asked him to remind the U.S. amateurs that I, too, am but an amateur. Over the course of the test period, more than 24 stations were heard, both utilizing Speak and Vacuum Tube CW, but the one that was received the most consistently was operated by 6 members of the Radio Club of America: Ernest Amy 2VK, Edwin Armstrong, George Berghard 2SS, Minton Cronkite 1IB.
I'm guessing a relative to Walter.
Probably. John Grinham NJ2PZ and Walker Iman 2BGM.
Oh, cool.
Their station, 1BCG, sent the following recorded as the first ever transatlantic message sent on shortwave at 21:52 GMT on December 11th, 1921. The message reads, Number 1, D, 1BCG, W12, words 12, New York, date 11/12/21, to Paul Godley, Ardiocean, Scotland. Heartily congratulations, Berghard Iman, Gilman Armstrong, and Armstrong Amy, and Cronkite. So there. That was
Nice.
the first. December 11th is when all this stuff started.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to our second break, and we'll be back.
You're listening to Ham on WTBR.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Wireless. You hear that word used a lot today. We have wireless telephones, wireless internet systems, wireless microphones. What it actually means is that they are radios. And who knows more about radios than amateur radio operators? Call them amateurs or call them hams. They know the modern wireless world. They helped create it.
There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Berkshire weather.
WTBR radar weather for the Pittsfield area. Today, snow showers likely this morning, then snow showers likely, or a chance of rain showers this afternoon. Total snow accumulation around an inch. Highs in the mid-30s. Southwest wind around 5 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 60%. Tonight, mostly cloudy with scattered snow showers. Cold with lows in the upper 20s. West wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of snow 40%. Thursday, partly sunny. Highs in the lower 40s. Northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Weather forecasts for WTBR FM are provided by the National Weather Service.
Hi, this is Sean Sayre, Executive Director of PCTV. When Taconic High School was demolished, we could have lost this radio station. Instead, PCTV stepped in, built a new studio and transmitter, and gave the station new life. And now it's time to pay that back. Support this station today. Go to WTBRFM.com and click the donate button. You won't be sorry. Pittsfield Community Radio thanks you for your support.
You have chosen wisely.
WTBR. And we're back. So, yeah, I did that little outro for Willy Wonka. It'll never be the same again.
No, it won't.
Your Star Wars or Willy Wonka, thanks to WTBR FM. And the funny part about it is we have all this stuff at home because we do the Beatles show at home, so we insert our PSAs and our breaks in there, and we have the whole cart on there too.
Yes.
So, we just go back and listen to it while we're not doing anything. We get bored, we'll just plug them in and listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
I was going to save this, but we got 10 minutes. I'm going to go try synopsis this as much
Synopsis.
Yeah, that thing. Havana Syndrome could be directed by microwave energy. This is from NBC News. The mysterious neurological symptoms experienced by American diplomats in China and Cuba are consistent with the effects of directed microwave energy, according to a long-awaited report by the National Academies of Sciences that medical evidence that cites. I can't talk today. Here, you want to do this, and I'll just go home.
Really? What? Your mouth transplant didn't work?
It's being rejected, apparently. I do this once a week. You think I could enunciate once a week? According to a long-awaited report by the National Academies of Sciences that cites medical evidence to support the long-held conviction of American intelligence officials. The report, obtained Friday by NBC News, does not conclude that the directed energy was delivered intentionally by a weapon, as some U.S. officials have long believed, but it raises the disturbing possibility. A team of medical and scientific experts who studied the symptoms of as many as 40 State Department and other governmental employees concluded that nothing like them had previously been documented in medical literature. According to the National Academies of Sciences report, the committee felt that many of the distinctive and acute signs, symptoms, and observations reported by the government employees are consistent with the effects of directed pulsed radio frequency RF energy. The report says studies published in the open literature more than half a century ago and over the subsequent decades by Western and Soviet sources provide circumstantial support for this to be possible. In the last year, as first reported by CQ Magazine and the New York Times, a number of new incidents have been reported by CIA officers in Europe and Asia, including one involving Mark Polymeropoulos, who retired last year after a long and decorated career as a case official. He told NBC News he is still suffering the effects of what he believes was a brain injury he sustained on the trip to Moscow. A source directly familiar with the matter told NBC News the CIA, using mobile phone location data, had determined that some Russian intelligence agents who had worked on microwave weapons programs were present in the same cities at the same time that the CIA officers suffered mysterious symptoms. CIA officials consider that a promising lead, but not conclusive evidence. The State Department, responding to the report, said that each possible cause remains speculative and added that the investigation, now 3 years old, is still ongoing, although it praised the National Academies of Sciences for undertaking the effort. The State Department offered a long list of challenges of their study and limitations in the data that academies were given access to, suggesting that the report should not be viewed as conclusive. The report says more investigation is required and recommends that the State Department establish a response mechanism for similar incidents that allows new cases to be studied more quickly and effectively. as well as neurological assessments for all State Department employees on foreign assignments. NBC notes that the study examined 4 possible causes: infection chemicals, psychological factors, and microwave energy. The report concludes that among the plausible mechanisms that the committee considered, directed radio frequency RF energy, especially in those with the distinct early manifestations, appears most germane among with persistent postural perception dizziness as a secondary reinforcing mechanism, as well as the addictive effects of psychological conditions. The committee cannot rule out other possible mechanisms and again considers it likely that a multiplicity of factors explain some cases and the difference between others.
Oh, really?
That's why I'm not a news person. That's a long story.
Yes, because after that you would have to look into another camera and go, and the severed head was found in the elevator shaft.
So
then followed it up with goodness for egg lovers. How did their mood change to switching to a different camera?
This is why we're not news reporters, but we kind of are because we do report the news on ham radio news, a lot of stuff. But
I'm just saying, how
we don't have to do that
here. You want that bipolar in order to switch that fast.
Well, at least here in the simulcast, we got the 3 cameras here, so we don't have to go. We don't have to look up at this camera up here and go. And the severed head was found under the clock. Then you go to this back camera here and go, good news for egg lovers. We don't have to do that.
Come on. It takes a weird kind of weirdness in order to switch moods.
So, with the last 4 minutes, we're going to put out our little pleas. First of all,
of course,
to make donations to WTBR FM, especially to keep us on the air and the other programmers on the air and the other producers on the air.
Yes.
If you like the past 2 years of the silliness that this show has brought to you, that no other talk show ever will bring to you.
Yes.
On mainstream media, you want to keep
If you love us and love our voice.
If you love us, love our voice, love all the programmers here,
and
all the producers with deep cuts and on Patrol with the PPD and Beatles Forever and Mike's Amazing Music and
Classic WTBR.
Classic WTBR and oldies 45. All this stuff that's going on. You want to donate to the station. Also, Christmas Eve, we have a whole Christmas party going on for everybody who's does shows on, I think that's a Saturday. I don't have my calendar in front of me. But Christmas Eve will be on from 2 to 4 with some decades old, as the promo goes, decades old Christmas music from my library.
Yes, that was a growl.
From my library.
It's on Christmas Eve is on a Thursday.
Oh, yeah, Christmas Eve is on a Thursday. So we'll be on from 2 to 4 with some Christmas music you may never have heard before and you may never hear again. We'll just put a little spoiler out there that AC/DC actually did a Christmas song.
Yes, it's off the Razor's Edge.
We're not going to tell them what it is.
No.
You have to listen in.
I'm just saying.
You're right. It's off the Razor's Edge album.
It's actually an AC/DC song,
and and we will be playing that we'll be playing some Bob Rivers stuff. We'll be playing some stuff from the Chipmunks. We'll be playing a whole bunch of stuff, the Kinks and Paul McCartney and John Lennon, of course. And make sure you tune in Monday, 4 p.m. for the Beatles Forever as we go back to our regular scheduled programs as we did the 2 tribute shows. And if you want to catch the tribute shows to George Harrison and John Lennon, they're up on the WTBR podcast.
Yes.
You can always listen in on them. And thank you to our listeners in England, our listeners in Boston that listen to the Beatles Forever show, and our listeners across the country that listen to this show, especially in France, by the way. And we got to go. So 73 to everybody. Enjoy.
73 everybody.
Have fun, and we will talk to you next week. This is Peter and Jessica for Ham On 73, and goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.